Hey guys, Riley Spanish here, and I am very excited going through a huge pickup that I made. I did drive about an hour each way to get this. It was up in Georgia. I live in North Florida, so it was not a huge drive, but I went out of state technically to get this one. Three big piles there are like diamond pearl through like sun and moon bulk. I'm gonna have to go through it a little better to pick out certain stuff. Like on top here, you see like a hollow Samurott from a black and white set. It's all a little beat up, but some of it's going to be worth setting aside, and then I'll just probably offload the rest of it for someone who's trying to fill in their binders. And then I have two other piles here. This is all Wizards of the Coast era bulk. This pile is the slightly more beat up stuff. If it's like straight up damaged, like bent or anything, I don't keep it. But that's probably about 300 to 400 cards there. And then this side is the much better condition Wizards of the Coast bulk that was in a binder. This is probably about 500 cards, and ranges and sets, mostly base Jungle, Fossil, base 2, and Gym, and Team Rocket, but all of this stuff is like moderate play or better, and it's going to be a lot of work for me to go through all of this and get my TCG player store updated, but I'm going to have a ton of vintage on there in the coming weeks. It's just going to take a very long time to process all that, and a very big stack of tops. Some of them being the chrome tops, some of them being just the normal ones. Like you see these Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, the foil. There's a non-foil Venusaur, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. Then Squirtle, Wartortle. Don't have the Blastoise in here. But just pretty much there's Pikachu and Raichu. Up to a certain point, like the first series of Topps cards, with some of them being the Chrome version, some of them not. That Arcanine one is pretty clean looking, though. The corners and edges are never really good on these, so typically when you pick them up, they're not really worth getting graded unless you rip the pack yourself. Some of the TV ones. And so Topps is one of those things. I end up with it from time to time. I usually just keep my favorites. I'm never really going for complete sets of Topps like I am with, actual Pokemon sets, especially vintage. I am going to be filling a lot of binder slots with some of this stuff. This ETB is just Wizards of the Coast era energy cards. There's a small market for those. A lot of them are in really good shape, so somebody will want them. Little stack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are all sleeved. I'll have to look them up. I still haven't gone through all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards from the last couple collections I've bought, but a handful of them are holos. I don't know if any of them are any good. It's just Yu-Gi-Oh is definitely not my thing, but I don't know. They always look cool, but then they're half the time they're worthless, and then something that is like super unsuspecting will be worth a bunch. But I guess that's true of Pokemon too. And then a small amount of modern-ish ultra rares were in the mix of all this stuff. This is not really an ultra rare; it's a Radiant collection, but I do set those aside. Some like McDonald's holos. Greninja V, Bronzong Break, Rayquaza EX from Roaring Skies, Calyrex V, Chestnut Break, Appleton V, Lumineon V, Regidrago V, some more McDonald's, some of the 25th anniversary, Pikachu, General Mills, the most depressing Dragonite EX full art ever. This is the worst card in the entire lot. I don't know how this... It must have been in a pocket and gone through the washing machine or something. Definitely not hanging on to this. I just wanted to show it. It is beyond devastated, though. Cleaver V. There's a Cloth. So even some of the stuff is as new as Scarlet Violet, but none of the bulk really is. Eevee promo, Megalopunny and Jigglypuff full art, which there's a couple of fakes that I'm going to go through and show, but this is not fake. This one is 100% real. But a lot of the GX, or all the other GX ones in here, were fakes. So I don't know why one of them ended up being a real one in there, but I will show the fakes that were in this real quick. They're very, very obvious. If I can grab them. So one of them that's kind of weird, this Snorlax. Off-center is not why I determined it's fake. If you look at the back, it's a little off, but it's really just the color of this yellow. And then if you were looking at it up close, you would see that it is just, I can't make it focus, but it's just a single ply of cardboard. Dedenne GX, no holofoil, just flat paper. It's well, that's a world championship one. Never mind. I put that one with the fakes, but that is not a fake. Celesteela GX, though. This is a fake. Wrong font. Same with this Mercur or Honchkrow. Wrong font. And no texture, even though it's a full art. The back is a really dull, kind of weird looking color. This one is probably, is this a championship one? No, that is just a fake GX. That's what I was thinking of with the Dedenne. This one is not even hollow. It's just flat paper, and GX would be hollow, obviously. This Vaporeon is a weird one to be fake too. But yeah, same thing. It's just the wrong cardboard, and it's just a single ply. It's not multiple pieces. Another fake, this Drampa GX. And then a Rainbow Gardevoir and Sylveon. Once again, just totally the wrong font. Like, looks nothing like the Pokemon card font. And then this Reshizard, not hollow, just flat cardboard. But for, you know, buying a collection this big, few fakes is always expected, especially Sun and Moon and XY era stuff. Seem to be a pretty big thing around there. Now I'm going to get into, well, really quickly, this is a stack of XY Black White era trainer cards. Not all of them are worth a bunch of money, but there's a handful in here that I know are, and I always look all of them up from that era because so many of them are like $4 or $5 cards, and you would not suspect it. Like I know that Floatstone and Bridget are both pretty valuable cards, and there was definitely at least one of each of those in there. And then a bunch of vintage Japanese bulk. Just quickly fan through some of it, but this is base, jungle, and gym. I believe the gym came from a deck type of thing, like a Sabrina theme thing that they did. And I will show you why I believe that. But as you can see, all of these Sabrina's cards, and then mixed in with base and jungle. The Haunters, Ghastly, Abracadabra. And then on to the good Japanese cards. Sabrina's Gengar. Not the hollow version with the band artwork. I do have that card, but this is just the non-hollow version, but still a very cool card. Probably about $30 or so, maybe a little more. It's actually in really great condition, so I'm not sure. I think like the last one I saw sold on eBay was about $30, but I don't know if it was as clean as this one. This particular Jinx is a band artwork because of the skin tone. They changed that for the American release. And Sabrina's Gaze, where it looks like, you know, her middle finger is out. They changed the artwork for that in English, so these carry a premium because they have that unaltered original artwork. And then some rare trainers and some holos. Got the Electrode Jungle, Fossil Hitmonlee, the Sabrina Holo, Lieutenant Surge's Fearow, and Sabrina's Alakazam Holo, and Victory Bell. And then I will get on to the really good English vintage, which is what I am most excited for. These two cards right on top I actually need for my collection. This is the original Flying Pikachu promo. Did not have that one yet actually, so that scratches off a spot on the list, or fills a slot in the binder, whatever you want to say. And this Entei from Neo Revelation. It's actually the last non-holo card I needed from that set. And then a bunch of rare non-holos in this pile. Some of the Warner Brothers Pokemon First Movie promos, some of the Pokemon 2000 promos, two of those Mewtwo's, the other legendary birds, Neo, some Gym. These computer searches are good ones. They're like $4 or $5 a piece. And then at the end, two shadowless cards. There's one other shadowless card that you will see in a moment. By the way, I paid $250 for all of this. And here is the best stuff. Now, obviously, I've got 800 or more vintage Bolt cards there, with a lot of them being in good condition. At worst, I sell those for 25 cents a piece, and they do eventually sell. There are other people who sell them for less individually, but say I have every uncommon and common from base set, people would rather get that all in one package from me, as opposed to, oh, this guy has one for 21 cents, I'm going to do that and pay 99 cents to ship that one card. Now they're going to get as much as they can from the same seller. So my floor on a card price is 25 cents, because I basically break even if they pay for 25-cent card and the shipping. Then I make exactly $0.00 on that pretty much. So I don't do anything less than that. Obviously I lose a little bit of my time, but it keeps people coming back. And then obviously when people buy vintage cards, I'm so rarely selling a single 25-cent card. That just really doesn't happen. But here are the vintage Wizards of the Coast holos. Neo Revelation, Magneton, and Houndoom. Houndoom's a little scuffed up, but a lot of these ones further back are actually gorgeous. Chansey from base set, Nidoking from base set 2, Clefairy from base set 2, Erica's Vileplume, Wigglytuff from base set 2, the Machamp, first edition, but it was part of the starter deck. They were all first edition. I mean, if you look at these under the light, like, they're not scratched up or anything. The corners and the backs look super nice. Honestly, if these were first editions, other than the Machamp, they would definitely be going in to be graded, because the return on that would be pretty astronomical. But I do need a couple of these for my sets, and then the rest I will sell. Misty's Tentacruel, Muck from Fossil, Hypno from Fossil, 2 Hitmonchans from base. The Dark Weezing, very hard to discern the holofoil in this one, but you can kind of tell over in that lighter spot of the background. Chansey from base set 2. Another one that so much of the card is holo and it just looks super clean. Brock's Rhydon. This one is very, very clean as well. Lapras from Fossil. Mewtwo from base set. Jumpluff from Neo Genesis. And the best one, shadowless base set Machamp. Or I'm sorry, Alakazam. This one, unfortunately, even though all the other ones were super clean looking, has edge wear on the back. So definitely at least moderate play. If I sell this on TCG, I will put it up with pictures so people can see exactly what the condition is. But I mean, this card is between $50 and $75 in this condition, just this card alone, not to mention everything else I have here, all of the bulk, everything that I will pull out of these stacks. This was definitely a huge come up for me and helps out my personal collection quite a bit. But just wanted to show it. This was in bags and boxes and a binder, so I got it all kind of organized in a way that would be more, I guess, suitable for a video like this before I did that. because last time I got a big lot of stuff, I was going through it for like an hour on the video, which some people enjoy, but I'd rather have everything kind of ready to show for a video like this. But thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing.